right. Um, yeah. So this will be video 2 for the class. As I said, I was going to do an electric one, and you guys asked a lot of questions on something I showed you. Uh, well, a couple of things, and I'm trying to remember. If you didn't watch the acoustic video, that's fine, but it's a good video. I'll go over not every single thing I did there because it's kind of a lot of talking and stuff, but um, basically, kind of what I was just reiterating there was you guys had asked, kind of sort of like how, a little bit of like maybe where do I find some motivation? How do I keep kind of things going? Um, Rhythm stuff. I play a lot of rhythm. That's just kind of my style. So that I'm not going to say exactly comes natural, but I've gotten really just playing, just comfortable doing that. So a lot of my stuff is like melodic and very like has a lot of just rhythms you really really can follow, and even with doing this, yeah, a more skilled player, you can add in, probably way more stuff, the ability of what your speed, all that kind of stuff, and all that comes with just you got to play. It's practice. There's lots of practice techniques. It's like all that stuff. Some people can kind of like they're just kind of naturally good. They might be able to go past some of that, but that's still part of it for sure. So one thing, I guess I could try it on here. So kind of what I did on the acoustic one is I showed you something. Now I wasn't playing with pick, obviously. A lot of times with my acoustic I don't, but with electric you with the stuff I'm doing you have to. Plus I'd like rip my finger up because I'm doing stuff wow just harder, just faster, and everything's just more intense. So something that I did on the acoustic one is just showed you something basic, okay? And you'll see, I still use this in a lot of my riffs. Is either just kind of if I'm thinking about doing something else, or just keeping rhythm, or and it's easy, and it's just basically it's just simple power chord. It's just playing the power chords. That's it, And there's a lot of different sequences you can do that. I'll show you guys a couple things. Basically just playing with the dots. So, top string here, and I'm just going up the neck basically. So, it's very, very easy. But once again, something else I kind of went over in the acoustic video was just kind of like sort of this is really hard to explain. There's another video of I can't remember the guy's name, but the way he explained the way that I play is insane. I never knew this guy. I just saw this video like not even that long ago, and it was insane. I was like, oh my god, that is the raddest thing. I'll try to like find a link for that or something somewhere, but that video was really good. Basically, he's talking about like just boxes, and you kind of have to watch it. He explains it way better than what I can. You guys will explain it. It will probably understand that. But yeah, you don't need super crazy stuff. I'd say at first, when you're really trying to put a whole thing together, if you want to do this, is just do something easy, because just get something out there, and you can always get something out there, and then you can always add to it. You can always add to your own stuff. Maybe you just come up with something like I did, and then all of a sudden in your head you're like, oh dude, it'd be cool. It's like I'm gonna end that with like some crazy like pinch thing or something. You guys asked me about that, pinch harmonics. Those are hard to do, but they are really cool. There are certain places on the neck that are a lot easier to do that than other places. And also, what's very important about some of that kind of stuff, some of the stuff I'm doing, the just comfortability of what and your instrument. For instance, this guitar, I have another one which you've seen in some of my videos, which is green, also Jackson. like this one, but the differences are this particular Jackson happens to be a little bit more on the rare one because they only made this series for 2 years. This one's actually at the time straight out of the Japan factory. So these particular ones, the neck on this is just absolutely ridiculous, like super skinny. Like if you'd ever pick up a Fender or like a Stratocaster or something like you're gonna put your hand on the neck, and it's just gonna be, it's gonna feel it much thicker than what this one is. This one is just like, I don't know if this works or if you can even tell, but like maybe if I get it like just right, you know, I'm really kind of referring to like back here. It's just, yeah, dude, it's really thin. It's very easy to just slide on this and really get whatever you're trying to do. I love that. I've got very used to this and it's great. But anyway, other things you might want to, that I would highly consider, and this will still work without doing this, but if you really want the fat, richer sound, I mean, I've showed you some of my settings. I'm pretty much, you know, yeah, for what I have. But once again, other things, your pickups and your action of your strings. My action's like all the way down, and these are the Zakk Wylde EMG signature pickups. These are insane. They're super powerful. If you get these, things of certain things you're gonna do will be a little easier. You're gonna just have a little bit more power, and it's just really gonna come through. So consider those things because that definitely, yeah. Maybe you just, you know, real quick, like you have your guitar or something. Maybe you go to Guitar Center one day or something like that, or some shop, and you're like, oh yeah, dude, look at that guitar over there. That's cool. Oh, I can tell that's got way better pickups and blah, 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 blah. And you try it out. Instantly, obviously, you're going to feel the difference between that guitar and yours. Most likely. But if you pay attention to the things I just said, or if you ever get to play, or when I see you guys again, if you want to play this, of course you can. I guarantee you will instantly see a difference, and it can make a difference depending on what you're playing. So anyways, so you guys asked, yes, the pinch harmonics, that's something in which we're generally, it sounds really cool when obviously when you're soloing. Where can I go? Yeah, so like something like maybe here. That's pretty good. That's hard. Yeah, you can hear it enough. Sometimes when I'm more playing and I'm really in like the zone, you really can just, there's something with all that, and you really can just hit that so good. That's basically what a pinch harmonic is. And then once you have that, you can do like slides off of it and you could make some pretty cool freaking sounds out of that if you're probably more beyond where I am. I'm trying to learn a little bit more whammy bar. It's cool, but it's kind of hard. It's hard to teach. You kind of like, I don't know, man. Whammy bar, if you want to do that, that's cool. I don't really know how to. There's some videos I've seen out there with that. It's just wild. You can really come up with just really crazy stuff, if you want to go that route. Yeah, and then, you know, so like I said, that's pinch harmonic can be hit in other spots, like I said, and there's some of the videos that I showed you guys. Yeah, I'm hitting other places. So, you know, move in here a little bit more. So like a lot of times, like up in this, you know, here, these areas, especially like right there, that's a good one. And then also, you know, right here, in here. Both those two are usually pretty good for that kind of thing too. Yeah, and then just basic rhythm is like, even though I showed you that, yeah, I'll just show you something real quick, and then want you to also maybe just the way that I'm picking as well. So I'm playing like if I take that riff that I played earlier, this one, but maybe now I'd like put a little more to it, like try to come up with more of a little faster of it, a little bit, like that's just too slow. There's nothing really there to work off of. But now if you kind of speed that up, start paying attention to this hand, really get some sort of like down up kind of motion, you don't have to count so much. But yeah, you start getting a little more, and then you could, once again, I just off of that, there's so many variants you can do. So a little bit faster. That's all a downstroke. If you go faster than that, you start doing a down up. You can do that. Maybe you want to like do more metal. You would do something like that, but maybe you might what do I call that? You're gonna be picking down, let me back up. You can pick it very quickly. You can kind of other things you can do to go in, maybe in between these, or just something you can add in there when you get a little bit more comfortable, or maybe you're already there. Palm muting. So muting with, you can mute with these fingers kind of, and then usually you're using somewhere like right here. So you're like muting the strings maybe down here or here at the same time, or one or the other. So that'd be more of something like. So that's like a full mute with using this palm here and my fingers. If you didn't do that, now maybe you're only using the fingers. Still kind of similar, a little tiny different, but stuff like that, if you're, a lot of times you'll see me playing something like this, where I'm doing something very similar, but it's more of a, it's a little deeper. It's like here. So that's basically, all that really is just really me hitting top, just open string, but I'm kind of muting it. And I've even done, you can start doing other weird things where you add in a little note, there's just so many different combinations with these kinds of things. When you incorporate all these things, that's really where you can come up with something, Let's say you just go back to this and you're just kind of like, oh, I like that, that's cool, I might do something like, I don't know. Right? That's so easy. But it's pretty cool. You can do off of that. I'll be doing that a lot of times. Sometimes I'll be trying to transition into something else, or it sounds like, oh, I've kind of heard that before. So it's naturally I'm trying to kind of loop you kind of back into some sort of familiar riff. And once you learn how to do that, then you pretty much got this. I mean, you want to throw a solo in there, cool. That's pretty much, a lot of what I just said. You could do that anywhere, really. So maybe you're comfortable down here. It's the same thing. A little different sound, but same idea. Let's say that, okay? So here, it would sound, if I'm doing the muting thing down here. Something like that. That's, or like, or maybe you just do what they would call, a hammer on, a pull off. A pull off is just like you're pulling off your fingers, you're doing a lot of, you have tapping. You've seen me do that. I'll go into that later. That's hard to do, and that requires a lot of eye hand. Like you're just to really hit the note good. Yeah, I'll go into that. That is, I still, and that's just hard. But yeah, once again, taking just a basic riff that I was doing, dun 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 dun, dun, you know, you could kind of do that down here too. You know, like literally, right? I don't know, whatever. You know, just I don't know, just going on the fly. But so, in a nutshell, similar riffs in different areas sounds good, and it's going to be somewhat familiar. And within all these areas, there's so many combinations. So linking something that you're doing one place on the guitar, come up with something a little different, then do something down here that's different, but still has the vibe you did here. Okay? So you're creating very interesting, rememberable riffs at that point, and something in which that you can move around in your writing. That's the best I would say about that. Someone asked about speed. Once again, that I'm not the fastest. I have got faster for sure. I don't know exactly what the fastest BPM I've ever done or whatever. I don't have, never done that, but I've gotten, yeah, a little faster, you know, whatever. That just is comfortability. Once again, with your instrument, everything, just you playing, that's an everything. Most of these things are everything things. You don't just get this and just go, yep, yeah. You kind of have to, you got to practice. So that kind of thing will probably mean something different to you than obviously than it would to me. But yeah, just even learning, if you want to learn like the single string stuff, that is a lot, I would say at that point, way more comfortable with this hand, because this hand, you're really, if you're going to do some tapping thing, like let's say you wanted to learn something like this, you're playing like, this isn't even that fast, but you just like doing something like this where you're just, right? It's not that hard to you're only on, if you're only using one string and you're on this hand, in my opinion, yeah, a little bit at first, that takes a little, it does, but all your control is here to make it sound, to put everything together and make it sound, you know, right. At least to me, that's kind of, you know, but once again, with something like that, there's so many combinations, you can start doing weird stuff where sometimes I might do something weird, you know, do like, you know, I don't know, where you know, whatever. There's just, yeah, there's lots of combinations. So get comfortable. Just play stuff a little bit like that. Warm up. Try it. Just, you know, get going, and you know, remember some of these things, and then you start, you know, kind of piecing, you know, a song together. And that's kind of how I do it when, if I'm just jamming out riffs. Sometimes I don't do that, but I do specific things that I am working on where, yes, I have to do exactly what I just said to you guys. So hopefully some of this helps. We'll go over some more a little later, and I'll go over some more things because I know there's a couple other things you guys said, but it's be like the longest video ever. So anyways, I hope you like some of this stuff, and I'll see you soon.